is Vess Bakalov, and I'm the CTO, Executive Vice President of Product, and founder of SevOne. SevOne is an IT infrastructure management company. We focus on collecting data from millions of devices, objects, indicators, baselining it, analyzing it, and reporting on it in real time. The volumes of data that SevOne could process were unparalleled in our industry. We created a peer-to-peer technology which enabled multiple appliances that were fully distributed around the world to collect data at the same time and analyze it in a distributed manner, share that data with each other, and allow users to run on-demand reports that will present that data in real time. We were able to collect data as frequently as every second across billions of metrics, analyze it, and make it available for reporting in real time. This was at the time when we created it, and to this day, an unparalleled achievement in our industry. SevOne was growing very quickly. We started in 2005, and by 2012, we were doing $25 million in business, having raised only $3 million. At that time, we raised $150 million to really go international and dominate the market, which we were able to do. And by the end of 2016, we were doing $100 million in business. But in 2012, we were facing a dilemma. Our local talent pool in Delaware was more or less exhausted. We have a great university there. We were hiring all the great students that came out. But to get a job in SevOne was still something that only 1 out of 20 of the candidates that recruiters and HR brought to us were able to do. We had very stringent testing that included both practical as well as theoretical elements. And that was a standard that we were not looking to violate. But in 2012, we were not growing our team as fast as our ambition. The business needed more. We wanted to go into new territories. We wanted to go into new verticals. And we simply did not have the talent available to us to do it. So we needed to grow quickly and find a partner that would do that with us. Allow us to be able to find the exact right people for our needs, not shove unqualified candidates down our throat, as some of the folks that we talked to were certainly trying to do, but really partner with us and cultivate the talent on their end to help and bring it in and really truly make it a part of the team. And that's something that I'm pretty proud to say the SevOne team was very open to doing as well, because it really takes both sides working together. You know, every single person we brought in was made to feel at home with an email, with being included in every single meeting, and giving voice to those people was something very important for the success of the project, right? Because we quickly realized that many good ideas were also coming to us from our new overseas team members, just as much as from our internal team, and really making that whole, making the team feel as a whole was something that I focused on very hard in the first 6 months of the engagement. But soon after that, it just simply took a life of its own, and it no longer had to be something to be managed through leadership and consistent communication. Not that that's not important to do at any point of time, but it didn't have to be called out specifically. A few things just fell into place. So as the business grew and our talent needs grew, we were able to very quickly bring a very large number of folks on board, and again, without really disrupting the culture in any significant way. As a matter of fact, the culture became, if anything, a higher performance one. So as we worked with Prime, there was really a lot of commitment, both on the side of their leadership as well as the engineers who came aboard to make the project successful. It wasn't just the day job, the 9 to 5. People were really engaged with the success of the company. I really felt at any given point of time, whether I was talking to the CEO of Prime, or whether I was talking to an account manager, or with the engineers working on our project, everybody had really truly vested interest in our success and went out of their way to make things happen. As we engaged with accounts overseas, some in Asia, some in Europe, we would often fly teams from Prime to represent SevOne and really act on behalf of our as our employees. They had our business cards, they had our email addresses. As far as customers were concerned, and we're talking about Fortune 50 customers, there was no difference between a SevOne employee and the Prime employee. I mean, that relationship was completely transparent from the standpoint of the customers. So one of the most important things is trust. And building trust with your partner is something that both sides need to work on very hard, especially in the early stages of the process. It's very important to walking into this kind of relationship to have your cards on the table and really have a clear strategy about how this relationship would be implemented. My recommendation is not to hold back. Holding back is only going to hurt things in the long run. People make poor decisions when they don't have all the facts available to them, and you're not serving your company by not letting every single smart person collaborate and contribute to all the processes from architecture all the way through solving support cases. At any given point of time, you're going to get good ideas, and creating processes that specifically silo organizations and don't let them interact with each other, I find is a good way to miss out on a lot of really good ideas. All in all, because of our relationship with Prime, SevOne was able to stay ahead of the competition. We continue to be one of the most innovative companies in our sector. We were able to turn out more features faster than any of our competitors. And we were able to quickly enter new areas of the market, which we simply didn't have the resources to do otherwise. And I'll tell you what, for many of those, we would not have been able to be nearly as successful if our Prime team members weren't along the ride with us. Here's the bottom line. The biggest issue we had was that we needed to bring in talent quickly to meet our aggressive goals. Hiring stateside was taking way too long, and we found ourselves making some compromises. We lowered our standards so we can bring in people, and in some cases we had to overpay. We had to also pay a lot of relocation costs to bring in people across the country. And some of the folks who were on board and being on board with us for a very long time were suddenly looking around going, hey, why am I not getting paid what this person is getting paid? And it was a difficult question to answer because they had a point. Ultimately, we continued to hire stateside even after engaging with Prime. We continued to grow that team, and I think the company remained very strong because of that. But we were able to do so with a very clear vision of who we wanted to bring online. So we didn't outsource for the sake of outsourcing and just for the arbitrage of lower cost. We really did it in order to allow us to bring the best people, the right people for the job. Ultimately, the project continues to go on. I mean, we had at 120 people from Prime in all areas. I mean, we had architects, we had product managers, we had senior developers and team leaders, even managers, right? So my VP of development had 2 directors who were based in Prime, directly from Prime. So that's what I mean. There was full integration between the teams. And when we talked about staffing and talked about growth and talked about new positions, everybody was in the room and everybody was contributing. And, the give and take was really not there. We knew we needed to bring in X amount of capacity. We went out, we looked for the best people, whether they were from Prime, whether they were in the States, and we just made the right choice for the company. Ultimately, again, that is what allowed SevOne to command the $1 billion valuation.